Hey, yo, Red, do you remember the record?
You can't just ask me and I don't even know the name of the record. What's the record?
I'm talking about Paid in Full by Eric B. and Rakim.
Like, if you don't know the record, you don't remember that record, get out.
Yeah, change the channel. What are you doing on the show? You don't know what Paid in Full is, man. Hell yeah, you remember the record, right, man? Shit. What's up, Cornerstoners? My name is Johnny Warbucks, and I'm here with Kalishnikov Red, and welcome to our 22nd installment of Remember the Record. Today, we are talking about the hit, iconic classic, Paid in Full, which was first released as a single back on July 7th, 1987. But before we talk about any of that, we need to do a little housekeeping over here to give them even more reasons to keep trying to steal our podcast money. Give them a couple of quick shout-outs. Give them a couple quick shout-outs over here. So listen, please, remember, follow us on Remember the Record on Instagram and leave comments there or any of our other social media pages to have your comments and questions read on future shows. Follow Remember the Record podcast on your favorite streaming platform. We need help seeing more followers, comments, ratings, and reviews on those platforms. All the good, real podcast shows say that, and so it sounds good to me. Please do it. If you haven't done it already, like the content and want to see more of it. So follow the Rappers Corner podcast also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok.
Just do it.
Be sure to check out our most recent special drop of Remember the Record, Remember Chino XL. We just put that out recently.
Rest in peace, man.
You will have, if you haven't heard it yet, the last episode we did was Ice Cubes. You know how we do it.
You know how we do it.
Great. We had a lot of fun on that episode. For the Rappers Corner, we should already have out or coming up Dopamine. And that's going to be a great little interview there. Our boy Sir Puffalot holds it down with that one. We're going to be putting out one here soon with Rusty Jux and Rognus Monster of Duck Down Records, which we're really excited to be a part of.
And we're going to get a lot of cool footage and stuff like that. I think we should do that. If we're going to do a pod on this.
Maybe that's what we'll do, is a little recap of the show. Yeah, so by the time of this recording, we will have already been to Count Fit's new record release party, which will also feature Rusty Jux, and we're going to have a lot of our local heads out there. We're going to see, of course, Count Fit first record release. We're going to have Impulse will be out there. We're going to see a bunch of heads.
You remember one of the first Rappers Corner episodes, we had this guy named Fernando. He might be there as well, too.
Yo, man, if we see Fernando, that'd be super dope.
Yeah, we're trying to, in all honesty, we want to do a big meetup for everybody, the whole family. If we can't do it for this show, that's cool, but, Michael Hayes, we want you in the next meeting, when we have a little get-together with the boys, man, because gotta keep hip-hop alive, for real.
We're going to be working on a project with him, too, right?
Yeah, Michael Hayes, the project coming out, man.
Got some music coming out here, some new Johnny Warbucks, Kalishnikov Red, man. Go over to his Instagram. We got a new record every day. And if you know someone who wants who records, is a part of the industry that wants to be on the show, have them message us over at the Rappers Corner on one of our social medias or email us at therapperscorner@gmail.com.
Yeah, we also
bring him on the show.
We also Sir Puff, he's got beats for sale. So if you guys want to get down on some beats, hit up Sir Puff or hit up the Rappers Corner. Either way, we'll get in contact, man. Just good beats, man, and I might start selling some beats too. So keep that
keep your mind and your wallets open. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe do a Patreon where it's one beat per guy that pays up or whatever. So we'll see.
We're working on some other things, man. Hopefully by the time we get this whole ball rolling, we'll expand to Discord. We're gonna expand to Patreon and the whole things, man. We're gonna try to build a bigger community and try to support our community. And speaking of our community, I want to give a couple of shout outs. Before we start talking about Paid in Full, we asked our people online what they thought about Paid in Full, and here's a couple of heads that had something to say about it. First, on Instagram's Remember the Record page, Skits and Gravy, that's Skits with a Z, and Gravy. We met him at Busboys and Poets. He did a little stand-up, and he also spits. He's got an album out there on Instagram right now, Gravy. He's dope. He says, I remember Saul Williams rapping it on the prison bus in the movie Slam. Yo, do you remember Slam? No. We watched that at my spot. We watched that together. Yo, Saul Williams is a poet and artist MC.
Yeah.
You don't remember? You don't remember the movie? So it's the movie where dude is like, he gets busted for some like lousy like weed charge, but they end up putting him in jail, no bail, like $10,000, a bail of $10,000. He's stuck in jail, and instead of becoming a part of the system, he ends up speaking through words and changing his perspective on what to rhyme about.
Man, I would have remembered this.
You were the one that even put me onto the joint. That's the thing I think is really crazy.
I don't even know.
Yo, Saul tore it up. There's this Amethyst Rock verse that he does in the prison yard where he's rapping, and it's just like gospel. The cat is spitting truth. But yeah, he does. He drops a little.
I have to rewatch that movie, man.
Dude, slam, bro. It was a dope out.
Too many years of dope.
Yeah. We definitely hung out a lot. And some of that stuff has changed up and shit. Yo, but no, that was a good little reference there, Gravy. I appreciate that. From TikTok, our homie Thinks Fatal, who was recently on the show, The Rapper's Corner, he says, there's a New York cat too, right? He says this was a staple at the park jams when this dropped.
And he's from that time when that dropped.
Yeah, so
so am I, but
he was at the park.
I was a little nothing.
Yeah, man, I think it was all about 5 years old. Dropping my government.
Yeah. I was.
Phoenix is right.
What year was it?
Came out in 87.
87, and it was July.
Yeah, man. So it was like your birthday 5.
Yeah.
6.
So 87, I came to the United States in 85. I was 3, so 5 years, 6 years old. Man. I just had turned 6 last July.
Old school.
Yeah.
This is old school, man.
Nah.
No, thanks, man.
Thanks for putting that through, man, because, man, I would have loved to see that Jones
went
down, boys.
Next time we talk about, next time we get you on the show, we should chop it up about some of those old school jam sessions in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Love to hear sort of that upbringing and what that was like, man. We'd love to talk to you about that sometime. Also from TikTok, Bit C Colors. I'm probably fucking up how to say that, but it's BITALMCCULLARS. But MC Coolers. I don't know, dog. I hope I got you right, but my man said timeless, 100%. Explosion emoji, timeless.
Oh man, no.
And he's right.
I mean, this is just we'll get into it, but
no, you're right, man. And I think instead of like highlighting some lyrics in this episode, we got to go bar for bar.
Yeah.
Because it is right. I mean, not even just the rhymes. I mean, it's like the stuff that they say.
It's
a sample.
It's one of those songs that just come together perfectly.
Yeah.
Like everything, the samples, the lyrics, the beat, everything just comes into place.
Also from TikTok, I Make My Dream. He said salute, and I'm still coming up with me.
Nice. That's what's up.
Yeah. He's ahead, man. He pulled that. He didn't go to Google for the lyrics on that one. Yeah. And of course, that's an easy little breakdown. He's still coming up with lint because his pockets is empty. He's trying to get paid in full. Yeah. That's a bar, man. I appreciate it, man. So that's the cats. We appreciate y'all commenting, and of course, you want to get your name dropped again. Drop another comment for the next episode.
Man, love to you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thanks,
we appreciate it. Next up, we're gonna do the stats here real quick, which my printer was all jacked up. All right, here we go. Episode 22.
Who uses paper?
I know. I could have just done this with my phone.
Who uses paper? It's 2024.
Blocking our logo and stuff. All right, so check it out. This is episode 22, Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim.
22.
Long Island, New York heads. That's where they linked up. This was recorded back in 1986 through 1987, traveling between Marley Marl's house studio and the Power Play Studios in NYC. The release of the single was the release of the single was July 7th, 1987, and it had the one from the album. It had 7 Minutes of Madness. It had the B-side, Eric B. is on the cut. It was also the 5th single released from the album, 5th. Like, this was like their last thought. First album appearance is, of course, their debut album, Paid in Full. Recorded at Marley Marl's, we already said this. So label released, it was 4th in B-Way, which was an extension to Def Jam, not known as Def Jam, Island Records, and we'll get to that a little bit about that here.
Island became Def Jam?
Well, Island was an extension of Def Jam.
Oh, okay.
But Def Jam was also known as something else, and we'll talk about that when we get to the lyrics. So, produced by Eric B. and Rakim, there are rumors or speculations that Marley Marl might have, no, Will Smith. Will Smith penned it for Rakim. Yeah, a lot of people were debating if Rakim wrote "Summertime."
Yeah.
Because, but Will Smith was just a big head, a Rakim fan, and he had partied all night, and so his voice was really hoarse. And so when he went to spit "Summertime," he had that deeper sound.
Look at his party animal.
Yeah. Will Smith wilding out. Yeah, Rakim wilding out. Yeah, in the lyrics, I'll get to that too. I mean, he got some he was girlfriend. So again, written by Eric B. and Rakim, and maybe arguments of Marley Marl, but there is nothing to solidify that it's fact. It's just a rumor. So I'm just perpetuating a rumor. Don't listen to me. Song is 3 minutes and 48 seconds, unless we're talking about the Cold Cut 7 Minutes of Madness remix, which is 7 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, samples. Look, we're going to pull samples from the record on the album.
Let me give a little explanation. If you listen to the song, you'll notice that there's a lot of samples. Now, not necessarily saying musically, but just vocal.
Yeah.
So we have a list here, big list, of like vocals and music samples, right? So just to give you a heads up, it's not all of these are going to be musical samples.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be like, 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
like that kind of stuff. So go ahead.
So on the album itself, right? The regular paid in full, the 3 minute 48 second joint, not the music video version either, and that's why we're bringing this other piece up. Because there's just so many versions of this. But the main one, we got the main drum break and the flutes that you hear coming throughout. They come from the Soul Searchers' 1974 instrumental funk Ashley's Roach Clip. All right. So that's your main drum break and the famous flute ones that you hear on this record. The iconic bass line. From the lower pitch, it's a lower pitch version of Dennis Edwards' 1984 Motown classic "Don't Look No Further," featuring Cy Garrett.
I love that song too.
It was a great song, man. Yeah, I love going back and keeping the samples, man, because it's just like it just taps into so much other music. And here we go. It's it's East Coast old school, but it's like funk, it's soul, it's R&B, it's all of that. And then the scratches, including that everything's so fresh. That's from the ending of Fab Five Freddy's 1982, and one of the most important rap records ever recorded. Change the Beat, the female version, featuring the in French vocals by female rapper Beside, who was in early vinyl presses, was marked as Fab Five Betty.
Oh,
Fab Five Betty, Beside, and it's like it's one of the most heavily sampled hip hop records of all time. It's just iconic. This record was very successful. As of 1995, it became certified platinum as a platinum record. It was number 3 on U.S. Hot Dance Club play charts. Number 65 Billboard Hot R&B and Hip Hop charts. I mean, this is early age stages, so I mean, whatever. But still, like with the peak of its success really occurring overseas. Number 2 in New Zealand, 5 in the Netherlands, 15 in the UK, 27 in Germany. Particularly the 7 Minutes of Madness remix, making it the most successful remix record at the time.
It's funny because like a lot of
gave credibility to the remix.
It's interesting how a lot of like German records, for instance, will become big here, but over there it's like whatever. It's like Rammstein over here, it's gigantic, but over in Germany, I like that's whatever. And then like here, it's like this for us is gigantic, but over there it's like gigantic.
It's way bigger than us.
It is, you know what I'm saying? It's just interesting.
That was their market.
Yeah, how like it crosses like that, like how because there's You're My Love.
Oh yeah, man! All those like
that's like Euro, like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It became big over here. Yeah, like
the crossover,
the Pensional and all that stuff. It became gigantic.
As far as like some side notes go, okay, this was one of 3 records, a part of a studio deadline that Eric B and Rakim threw together, like quite literally. So Rakim wrote his entire portion in under 5 minutes and didn't want to record anymore. So he's like, he did his one take and he was out. And Eric B, because it was so short, it was just the one verse. He decided to add this dialogue at the beginning and the ending, and then stretch out with the scraps.
Yeah, I got a little tidbit for you.
Yeah, give me something.
So what's interesting is when Rakim wrote this song, I think he was around the age of 17 or 18. So he was going to school the other day, and then spending most of his nights at the studio. He go home and go to the studio. So like, he did this because there was a time constraint on the record, on the whole like album. He was doing this consistently, like one day after the other, every day. So sleep-wise, like happening. So like when they do this song, like Rakim like spits his shit and then he like sits down and he's out. He's out. He's dead out.
Not doing no more.
And Eric B was like, he still got like that space left over, right? So he's trying to wake him up and trying to have him finish the rest. Wasn't waking up. Was not waking up. So Eric B was like, all right, well, let me just like do this little conversation thing where I can have him like, come in a little bit later in the recording just to record my part, which he did. And that's how that song came about.
That's so crazy.
Which is interesting because like at 17, 18, me and you, we've experienced that when we would be in high school writing, thinking about our lyrics, doing our homework and doing that. And then after that, going to the studio and spending a good 6-7 hours at the studio at night, you know what I mean? So it'd be like, this was our world. This is why I can relate to that whole like feeling, like that love, that passion, that young hunger of like Rakim at that age, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because in Latin America, when Reggaeton came out, there was a guy named Rakim. And it would like suck because they were like every time I talk about Rakim, Rakim Allah, Rakim the God.
God and see.
Everybody like Rakim Ken. I'm like, nah, not Rakim Ken. Like fucking Rakim Allah. Like, so just putting that out there. But yeah, interesting tidbit.
I love that, man. This is one of the most iconic sampled records in hip hop history, particularly the already sampled Fab Five Freddy. And it's regularly coined as one of the greatest hip-hop records and songs, for that matter, of all time. Just about every famous album of all time. You know? I mean, everybody. Like any of those big, like MTV, BT, VH1, all of those guys with their top tens. Like, this was always something.
And unfortunately,
Rolling Stones,
like
Source.
It's fortunately but unfortunately in a way because like when this song came out, I don't know how late or how like Paid in Full came out, like how long it was after the original Israeli sample for the 7 minutes one, like came out. So I don't know.
That song came out that year.
Okay, so they came out that year.
They released Paid in Full 87. So that song came out in 85.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 2 years.
I'm in Alu, Afra Haza.
Yeah. So apparently, like her, Afra Haza was kind of like dwindling, like her fame a little bit. So when she even said in an interview when they were like, "How do you feel about?" She's like, "I didn't even know that they did that."
That's
crazy. And now, like because they did that, you have a lot of people looking and searching for me, which made my sales go up higher. So, like, I have no problem that they did that, but I just didn't know, and I was wondering how come my sales were starting to get higher, right? So that's interesting too about how like that, because you think about it, like when I listen to like that, like I remember we watched American Psycho.
Yeah, man.
And there's a scene where they're with their credit cards at the restaurant. They're like, my credit card's better. My credit card's a Boast. And this and that.
Oh my gosh, it's got a watermark.
But right before that scene, when he's walking into the restaurant, and he's walking to get into that table, you hear in that restaurant they're playing. And I was like, Rakim! But that's how what hip hop does. Because now I'm not even talking about what's the name with that bass line that they sampled. I'm not talking about her with the Israeli sample. I'm talking about Rakim, that do. even when like Tupac used it, I was like, Rakim, like that's how like big that this song was, because it outshined both those great songs. Like at the time that they were pretty much just had come out.
I took it and recreated it.
But like outshine them, you know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, as far as like a global scale.
Yeah, because now everybody recognizes that but nobody's like, oh, well, it's originally, you know.
But except for heads like us.
Right. But even with us, that's my point. It's like you get, we know it's that, but we're like Rakim.
Oh, 100%.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Like even with us,
it belongs to Rakim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
and this is an era, man. Like that whole like royalty sample clearancing. This didn't exist yet, and so you were able to pick whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And this dude, Eric B, dog. I mean, I don't even have the numbers here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 25. This is 25 samples that aren't from this other stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this is like he's got like 30 fucking samples in this song, man. And so like some of them will pop up in the music video version. All of these pop up in the 7 Minutes of Madness, and it's literally some of them are just like, you know, the music just turns me on.
You know what though? I've heard those samples on many different other
people because after they hear it here.
Right.
Because back then when they had you digging in the crates and you knew you had like master DJs in like the new release dates, they would like go into these same shops together. And they'd be peeping and they'd be like, what's Pete Rock? What's DJ Red Alert got over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, and
you gotta go fast with those.
So like you'd be like sneaky and be like,
don't be looking at my stuff.
What's he calling from, man? What's this French shit? What is this shit? What is Houdini? What is this? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I love that element because the competition was real and like if you got the next hot beat.
Oh, you were
that's
set.
how you got out.
You were set.
That's how you got out.
You had to look.
So, you know, you weren't, I mean, and that's why, like, you know, you hear, like, in one of the Gangstar albums, like,
this is what I do, man.
Yeah, dog. You know what I mean? Pete Rock, or no, DJ Premier in one of the Gangstar albums in the sketch is like, he's like, all you motherfuckers out there telling people what our samples are, you violating motherfuckers. Like, he's like really mad about it. Back then was different.
Yeah.
Because back then people be
that was like your thing.
It was also like the fact that like the clearances start and now they're starting to like charge heads for stuff. And so if you sneak in something, because a lot of our older episodes, like when we talk about Jump Around, Cypress Hills, you know, a lot of those arguments were about like, nah, man, that's not where that sample came from. I made that myself, and they're trying to cover their ass.
See, so just to give you guys a little heads up, right? When you hear music in the background of this show, you'll hear and I'm in charge of this, so like, what I like to do is I will usually get the acapellas of whatever guys were doing, and then I'll create a beat, put the acapellas to that tempo, and I'll use a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just to keep a little bit of that recognition going on.
Yeah, that consistency.
But yeah, I mean, sampling is, you gotta know how to work the system, man, because like technically speaking, my stuff should be silenced. It should be red flag, but I know how to work the system, so none of my stuff is. But back in the day, it was literally, you could literally
think about like a Pulse Boutique. Like that album could never be recreated.
Yeah, they could literally,
those older De La Soul records.
No,
you could never make them again.
But what I'm saying though, like,
they would be the most expensive records in the world.
But like you see, that's where it becomes a thing, because it's Dre versus Premier. Like,
well, yeah, you either pay for the big sample, and you manipulate that a little bit, or you do the Premier thing, where you are sneaking in little pieces.
That's where I'm leaning more towards Premier, because I don't get the money to do that, so I'm gonna chop it up and do that shit. So yeah, no, it's, as a producer, man, I'm looking at all these samples.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, because the max samples that I'll do is like, this is like 20 something.
There's like 30
samples. Yeah, like
Anenolu Afra Haas vocal sample, the Ooh I Love It Love Break vocal sample, the Baby from Krypton vocal sample, Train Sequence by Jeffrey Summer 1958 vocal sample. A lot of this stuff is like when you hear like
this is 27 right here. 28, 29, 30,
There's still
31,
some down
30.
here. Pump that bass.
So
the
30,
original
32
concept,
basically.
which is pump up the volume, right. Like so, like you hear some of these pieces where like you hear somebody say, "This is a journey."
And I wonder if
some of them are kind of for movies.
If they say if the pump if they like sample that.
Oh,
pump,
from that.
like,
I mean, they might have sampled it from this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
Yeah, man. Howdy doody, like at that when he's like at the ending of the record, you hear him say, "Good night, kids," or whatever. Yeah, that's howdy doody. There's a whole bunch. We interrupt the program, News Medley. It's Don Pardo from 1985.
They sample Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah, what did he say? All right. Yo, dude, it's so funny, man. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Comic strip, Mikey Dread, 1979. I'm trying to see, like, okay, so we do have Boogie Woogie from the Sound Experience, 1975. It's a drum sample, and you hear, like, during the...
You hear, like, a couple layers of drums.
Where the drums switch over, and it's a different beat, right? It's a different break. That happens there with that. Bang on a Drum by Rick Jones, 1973. They do that. A little piece of that. But a lot of it's dialogue, like a police phone call from the Big Sleep movie. You get a sample from Payback, the Public Enemy movie. Like just stuff like that, dog. It's everywhere. It's just all kinds of stuff.
No, it's really
a fun one to listen to and dissect.
As a producer, it definitely is an interesting approach to making it. So, I don't know. Besides maybe like Public Enemy, which like this sounds more congruent to me than a lot of Public Enemy samples.
It is kind of interesting how you got 30 different things from God walks of life. He's just watching a movie and I like that. You know? And he turns it into this one cohesive piece of music.
And you know, it's crazy because
now you associate it with
this is one of those beats that are, like we said, it's timeless. But where's Eric B?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? It's like
there was a fallout there.
Well, no, there was a fallout, but I'm just saying it's like you have like such timeless music and like nobody knows who Eric B is. That's really crazy to me.
But Rakim still get the love.
Rakim, of course, but you know there was a break because it was. Are we at that point? Should I break down that breakup?
Yeah, I'm gonna hear about that, and then after that we can move into like the music video.
So from what I heard was basically they had when you sign, you have a contract with what you're signing with, and that contract will tell you explicitly how many albums are within your contract, right? I think they had. It was going to be
3 albums.
So right. So what Eric B thought was like, all right, I'm going to make my own album. You're going to make your own album.
Come back to
and
that.
Then we're going to make a duo album, and then we're going to do a contract. And Rakim was like, cool, that's cool, right? And but in order for Rakim to do that, and for Eric B to do that, they had to sign. Like saying, okay, like I rock him, I'm allowing Eric B to go ahead and do that on his own with the knowledge of coming back to finish up their thing together, right? So he did that, and Eric B went and did his thing. And now when it was Rakim's turn, Eric B wouldn't sign off. And Rakim would like hit him up, and this is, you gotta think, he's 17, 18. You know, he wants his roots, you know, all that stuff.
Got like 3 kids.
Yeah, so like he's living off of making music, right? He's living off his lyrics. This is all his work, whatever, right? So like it goes like days becomes weeks becomes months, right? And Rakim got pissed off. So he finally like he's been trying to get in contact with him on the phone, right? And it was not like back in the day we can text, right? It was like
right.
fucking phone, right? So
you gotta be at that phone.
He was never there for months. So Rakim gets pissed off and he goes to his spot. I think it was the office or wherever I don't know, but he goes to where he's at and he knocks on the door and the secretary comes out saying he's not in. It's just a smidge open the door, right? Just so she can have her face out. And he like puts like foot on the door and he's like, nah, I came in the door. I said it before. I never let no mic man ties me no more. So he busts through the door, and he confronts Eric B after months. Not being able to talk to him. And Eric B was like, yeah, I was afraid that like you were gonna go off and never come back. Which I don't know, but either way, like after that, Rakim was like, man, you just got fucked up like the boot.
Yeah.
There's no more coming back after this. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like maybe communicate. See, it just that reason to me is kind of like iffy. Like I feel like there's some money involved somewhere, but like I don't. If that's the reason, how would Eric B make money off of Rakim not flowing? So maybe it was that. Maybe he was afraid, but I think open communication would have been the thing. You know, but I don't know. It's just a sad thing because and then after that, like they'll play a show here and there, but it's not like it's sort of like naughty, like
it's just business.
Yeah, it's own business tip, and then after that, it's like you out, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
But I know honestly, like, and this is an issue that Rakim has had for the longest time, is that he didn't have beats that were for him. Like he had beats that were not bad, but they weren't great beats like Eric B had for him. Because Eric B, not only this song, but there's My Melody. There's so many songs.
The whole damn catalog,
the whole everything. It's like
Follow the Leader,
bomb ass beats.
Don't Sweat the Technique,
all of them bomb ass beats. So Rakim, like Nas, had this stigma where it was like, well, you don't have good beats. You know what I mean? And personally, though, like the R, I don't know if you've heard that album.
Yeah.
The R, Rakim, like that's a good album, good beats. If anything, it would have been Premier and Rakim. I still think would have been it. But with Rakim's new album, apparently he produced
the whole thing.
Right. So when listening to those beats, I really enjoy those beats. I think those are good because they're fitting, but at the same time, Eric B had, just
special songs.
Just even the sound, Eric B and Rakim sounds so correct. Like, you know what I mean? Like
he's missing a piece of that rib.
Yeah, and I love Rakim. It's Rakim, Nas, Q, RZA, B. Like these are my top guys. Scarface, but like when it comes to music, Eric B and Rakim.
Oh, 100%. Those albums surpassed his solo ones for sure. And it took so long for him to come out with a solo because of his contract and money bullshit. And it's just, and that's the whole thing, is like Eric B held up what probably was about a decade's worth of Rakim music from us. Yeah. We got robbed from that because he was scared that he'd walk off. And then he walked off anyway because he done fucked up.
And this is the word is bond guy. You know what I mean? Like this ain't no, I'm not gonna come back. Like, where does Bond? He used that phrase all the time around here. So you gotta believe the guy. You know what I mean? But it's a shame. It really is, because you have so many like Tribe. Tribe was another one that had
that breakup. That breakup.
But like Tribe had that major beef. Like
EPMD
that major beef, and it's like, as a fan, you're like, yo,
just make peace and make beats, man. And make hits.
Yeah, man, because that was a sad thing with Tribe, and then like Fife goes.
I know. Like, and there's a lot of stuff like NWA
and Bushwick Bill and
Ghetto Boys, man.
I mean, Scarface is cool, but Willie B don't like Bushwick.
Didn't even go to his funeral.
Then nothing. So it's like, damn, man, how can you create such fantastic? How can you create a soundtrack to my life? And then all of a sudden be like, I'm out. I never liked this.
Off some petty stuff, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. I want to talk a little bit about this music video, man. So the music video is pretty wild.
It's a montage of many things.
It's just very much like the song itself, it is pulling everything that is being pulled from those samples. A lot of those images are being like flashed on the screen.
Yeah, and you had mentioned something about words and text.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of neat. So hold on for a second. So it's directed by Bruno Tilley, who is the in-house art director and later creative director at Island Records, which is Def Jam expansion, right? And I thought that was kind of neat. But the video is designed like for clubs in mind. Like imagine the big screen in the European discotheque. Everyone's dancing and you got the video in the background flashing all this stuff. It opens with the statement, "This is a journey into sound." and you get like space. And while that's happening, hold on. And so you get the space, you get the science bunker where the man's like, you know, making the announcements over the radio, the microphone, and then it's like while that all that you get the black and white clips of like suburban families at home, like listening to the song on the radio. Yeah, they're all definitely white families. It's very funny. But there's these flashing images of outer space, sonar, radio towers. You get these different like clips of commercials and dance video clips. There's like chimpanzees. There's like muscle men and
I honestly,
club dancers.
I think that's one of the most, that type of video I feel is like some of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? A creative video.
It is creative though. I mean, like you see, like ice cream being poured into cones. Like it's just like
surreal creative video.
Muslim worship. Like you got like the cats doing the whole thing. There's like Arabic script just scrolling down the screen at random. I don't know what it translates to. You get all the, you know, it's about money. You get the different forms of currencies. You see like coins and gold bars and stuff like that pop up. But then throughout the video, once Rakim starts, you know, thinking of a master plan, like once we get to him, throughout the video, you get Rakim rapping with Eric B. and they on the turntables, and they got like the all black attire, the leather. I mean, gigantic gold rope chains, these large, heavy gold jewelry all over. The backdrop's the dollar bills.
Shout out to the Hip Hop Museum for having his jacket.
The fucking jacket.
R, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to buy. It's like $500.
Yo, man, come on, though.
Come on, man. Come on. You guys get that podcast money to us.
Yeah, man, we gotta get that podcast money so we get the Rakim jacket, bro. Yo, and then of course, like throughout, and this was so very early on for hip hop. Like while he's rapping, like you'll see the lyrics pop up, but not like the bars. It'd just be like words. It'd be like thinking of a master plan. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Plan would pop up.
You know who else does that? Like that? Because I mean, it could be whatever, but with the black background, bold white letters. Black Sheep.
Black Sheep was doing it.
You can get with this, so you can get with that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Where's the Black Sheep? Where's the Black Sheep? All right.
I love it. So the music video is pretty wild, man, and that particular version of the song is sort of like the radio combination of the one from the album and the 7 Minutes of Madness.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth checking out. If anything to throw you back in the time, like you see Raiden pop up.
You know, it's crazy because I have the 2 versions on my fucking phone.
Of the video or the song?
The song.
Yeah, throw you off, man.
So I'm all like, but it's cool because I like both, but honestly, 7 Minutes, that's my favorite.
Well, I mean, the thing is that
it's got that instrumental part. It's got
this is that era.
Yeah, man.
The rapper and the DJ, and the DJ was as important to the group as the rapper was. And then eventually, it was like because it was only the DJ.
Yeah,
featuring the rapper.
Or only, yeah. But that's the only way it could be done.
And then it was like the rapper with the DJ almost split, and that's what this was split.
Yeah,
and then eventually, it's more like I'm the rapper, and we'll give a little shout out to the DJ.
Yeah.
But like even the album itself, like the track listing, like 3 of them are just Eric B.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it, man. Eric B. for president.
Yeah, so that was like I think their first single.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like the importance of DJ in the album is not. It's there's no other like it doesn't show better than this album.
Oh, 100%.
Eric B. for president. There's 2 tracks. It's like Eric B.'s on the cuts.
On the cuts,
yeah, like.
What is it? Chinese arithmetic.
Yeah, Chinese arithmetic, and the first one I think, the second one.
Yeah.
Well,
Eric B is on the cut.
Yeah, Eric B's on the cut.
After I ain't no drink.
Yeah, so it's you know the importance you see it there. He Rakim
ends with extended beat, just the instrumental makes it move around.
Gives the
and it's only 10 songs.
Gives the space to the producer DJ.
Yeah, man.
You know, so like mad props to the dual old school like feel of like albums. You know what I mean? Like I wish it was like that now. Like I wish it was more
rapper DJ stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, producer. I like that we get like the Nas and the hit. That's nice because you get the rapper with the musician, right? You get that solidarity And unless you're a group already, that's like no like mob people.
But see, where does that point start? No, well, no, I'm just saying it's like where does
I got the answer to that question.
because you have Black Sheep, right? And you had both of them, and the DJ was the producer, right? So where does the stop called the DJ and start calling him producer happen?
Ooh, that's a different question.
That's what I'm saying. Where does that? Where does
the DJ
more?
become a producer?
Because okay, then you have producers who aren't DJs at all.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, when I first started, this is why I bring it up, because when I first started making rap, like my boy, he's a producer, but in my head, I was so used to the producer being the DJ. I'm like, listen, you're gonna be my DJ? It's like, no, I'm not gonna be your DJ. I don't want to be your producer. I was like, so I was like, so where does this happen? Because at one point it was the DJ, the producer, and was the producer. This point now, it's the producer who hires DJs to come and cut into their song if there is any cuts. That's what I'm saying.
It's interesting. I don't know, man. That would be a good one to dive into, man.
Yeah.
Do like an episode about it.
Yeah, I would like to know, like, yeah,
that'd be fun to dive into. I want to talk about the lyrics, man. If you can believe it or not, we're at that 40-minute mark. We still haven't done the lyrics. We got to get to the game. So as far as like the lyrics, when we're talking about highlighted lyrics, I always find like a bar or two that stands out. But you know what's really funny? This is a single verse. And every line has some level of importance or significance. Almost every single line. So, I mean, I'm going to say, obviously, the entire verse and those samples, man.
Look, you do the entire verse, and I'll do the emphasis parts where I think is like some of the most important
What's a part of
the whole thing is important.
You're absolutely right. I think so even just like in the conversation stuff, when he's talking about like, yo, he's doing the knowledge, this is he's Nation of Islam. He just like really just started picking that up, and
he's
joined the 5%. He joined the 5%. Like so he starts talking about a lot of that stuff even in this record. But like, check this out. Since Norby Walters is our agency, right? This is a famous agency that actually has a little bit of drama background. Some money shyster stuff there, but like Carl Lewis is our agent. Carl Lewis is that lady who like scooped up everybody, like all the important cats in WA. I think even as far as like Eminem was like Carl Lewis was his agent. But like Zakaya and Fourth and Broadway, that's our record company. But so right here, he's like, so who we rolling with? He's like, we rolling with Rush Town Management. Rush is Russell Simmons.
Oh, man.
He used to be, that was his nickname before, and before it became Def Jam, it was called Rush Town Management.
Gotcha.
So that's the whole island connection. And so we're over this.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that, man. Together we're getting paid a fool. So we're gonna go into the lyrics real quick. So of course, the opening line alone. Thinking of a master plan, because ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands, right? Like thinking of a master plan has probably been reused by including myself. What was that? Hip Hop Requiem. I open it with thinking of a master plan. Ain't nothing but bullshit on the soundscape. Instead of because there ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands. Shout out to Rakim, man. He's the guy. So I dig in my pocket, all my money spent. So I dig deep, but still coming up with lint.
See, I'm like representing to me.
Well, hold on. We're gonna talk about him too, man. But so I start on my mission, leave my residence, thinking, how could I get some dead presidents? I listened to an interview about Rakim, like talking about some of the bars here. This was the first time somebody had mentioned dead presidents.
Yeah, I don't think ever before that.
So the phrase, like the movie, the albums, every Nas, Jay-Z, all those cats, right? It all starts with this. And it's like, so in this interview, basically, Rakim was explaining when he was young, his father, he was in the oil business or something like that. And the guy was doing all right with some cake. And he hooks him up with he was like, once every couple of weeks, he would hook me up with a fat, cold $100 bill. And I was like, pop it open.
With small 50.
Yeah, it'd be this cool 100, and he'd pop it open, and he'd look at it, and he started, realizing, like, he's looking at some of these other bills, these other people, and he goes, your pops, who are these people on the thing? And his father said, oh, son, those are just some dead presidents. And that was something that just stuck in his head. And didn't mean much at the time, but when he went to go write, he's like, yo, I'm going to start using these dead presidents instead of $3. I thought
That's
that was
the whole thing.
it's amazing because that's a phrase that we hear all the
That's
time.
the whole thing.
You know, I'm out for dead presidents. The rappers
And
and
who did we even do the podcast on? The Dead
Dead
Prez.
Prez. You know, straight up, dog. I mean, I just think that's so crazy. I need money. I used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. I used to
roll up.
Yeah, this is a hold up. Ain't nothing funny. Stop smiling. It's still don't nothing move but the money. So he says, stop smiling. Be still. Don't nothing move but the money. So you're thinking about the stick up, right? He's like nothing. Nobody move, but that money needs to move. But it's also the double entendre. Ain't nothing move but the money because like that's the only way to progress in life is to earn your cash.
Cash rules everything around me.
Cream. Like. I love this early like technical shit back in this era. Like this is where stuff like it's so common to us.
This is also the evolution of writing in hip hop.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was doing this.
At this time, Rakim revolutionized the writing process.
Also, like just like the rhyme patterns, period. And definitely in later stuff, but like. But like a lot of heads when they were rapping, they'd be like, they call me this and they call me that. When it's time for me to do it, I do it that. You know, whatever, right? Like it was I rhyme at the ending. That's where I rhyme. And he was like, I'm gonna add to that. And so we hear some of that in this too. But like, let's see. But now I've learned to earn because I'm righteous. I feel great, so maybe I might just search for a 9 to 5. If I strive, then maybe I'll stay alive. Yeah.
See, that whole bar right there was not that.
Strive to stay alive. And it's also him talking about that 5% shit too. Like he's like, you know, he's righteous now.
Yeah.
So I walk up the street whistling this, which I think is funny because he's like, that's what people do when they're walking down the street. They just whistle or whatever. But it's also the whistle from the beat.
Yeah. Whistling this.
So as out of place because man, do I miss.
When you hear that, you're gonna be like, this.
A pen and paper, a stereo, a tape, me and Eric B, and a nice big plate of fish, which is my favorite dish. Without no money, it's still a wish. Yo,
so
I love it though. I love it, man. And then, I mean, he's got lint in his pocket. Yeah. He's trying to get this money. He's hoping that these rhymes are dope enough to do it. You know, fish is his favorite dish. You know, that's a whole, you know. That whole like 5% shit, that whole like staying away from pork and all
strictly
that.
Fishing,
yeah. Who said it first? I mean, my man right here.
Yeah, see, this is the Big Daddy King Rakim thing.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, but like but I love also like as far as rhyme patterns go, he's like a pen and paper, a stereo, a tape of this should be the ending, but he's carrying over to of. Me and Eric B and a nice big plate of fish. Like he's using that to bleed the line
because
from one side to the other.
Yeah, that's true because stereo or tape right? So technically tape should have been the end.
That's the end of the bar.
Yeah. And even if you have because he's like where is it? Pen and the paper. Okay, so paper, right? Paper and don't rhyme, but paper and
paper and taper. So that's the slant, and that was another thing that wasn't really happening.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a magical thing when you can use a certain word that has a certain sound that won't rhyme with that word, but you can
tape of paper.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Tape of paper.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So
this is stuff that he was doing that other cats weren't really doing like that. So, but without and let me see here. So like, but without no money, it's still a wish. Because I don't like to dream about getting paid. This is another line that ends up being used later on in other records. Like, I hear this bar. And I think of like, the Dog Pound. Like they have a song called "I Don't Like to Dream About Getting Paid," but Nate Dogg is singing that. I don't like to dream about getting paid. This is so good.
I don't even know by Belly, but this whole song reminds me of Belly.
Yo, I hear it though. I mean, like the story wise, it's definitely on it. So I dig into the books of the rhymes that I made. So now it's a test to see if I got pulled. Hit the studio because I'm paid in full. And the other part here, so look, if you start dissecting some of the stuff that's talked about here, he's like, yo, Rakim, check this out. This is Eric B. He's like, yo, check this out, man. You go to your girl's house. I'm going to go to mine because my girl is definitely mad because it took us too long to do this album. So, like, they went to the studio and they lived there. Like,
That's
you
what
were
I-
telling that
that's what I'm
story
saying,
where
yeah,
you, like,
yeah.
fell asleep in the studio.
You couldn't know more.
You like, it's a shame the girls didn't really appreciate the creative process.
But you know one thing though,
and there being a platinum record.
You know one thing though, that he rhymes. So I dig into the books of the rhymes that I made. That line, unfortunately, we are I think the last ones to live that line. No, my brother's generation was the last ones to live that line. Because after that, everything became
you texting on your phone,
text,
typing it on the computer.
We had
rhyme books.
We had rhyme.
I still have rhyme.
I still have rhyme.
I've got a whole stack of them.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you look back and you're like, damn, man, like, well, it's somewhere. It's behind all these books or whatever. I'm gonna pull it out.
Fuck it. But yeah, man, the composition notebooks.
But yeah, the black and white composition notebooks. This was our world.
That was everything.
This was
we
our
lived
world.
We lived in it.
We would go to school. Never use that for school stuff.
Like, yeah, we were so excited. I'd be like, yo, I got 3 new composition books. Yeah, I can't wait to fill these with bars.
You remember that, like, at the very top, you would put the date and then we'd see what
so we copyrighted, man.
The poor man's copyright.
Yeah, protect our shit, man. But, like, okay, so in the conversation, he's like, my girl's definitely mad because it took too long to do the album. I hear what you're saying, you know, pump up the music, pump the music up, pump up the volume. Yeah, count on money. Check this out. Yo, Eli, turn the bass down. Just let the beat keep rocking. Yeah, dog.
That's what I'm talking about, boys.
I remember this book.
That's what I'm talking about, boys.
Yo, that is it.
With my tagging. Look, it's all dusty and shit.
Get the dust out. Yo. Man. So right here, I think this is such a conspicuous kind of line right here, but at the very ending, they're like, yo, what happened to peace? Peace. Why'd they do that?
See, it's double entendre.
It's also it's informative because back then this is exactly like the story about like Rapper's Delight when rap was so brand new to people.
Mm-hmm.
And people would hear, they're like, these guys are just talking. And they're like, this is not a test because people would only talk over the mic while music was playing to test the microphone. And so they're like, no, what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. I'm explaining to you what I'm doing right now. I'm rapping to the beat. And so when he's like, yo, what happened to peace? Peace. Because it was a way of indicating that the song was over.
Oh, snap.
So I need to let you know that the song is over. Peace.
Okay.
And if you listen to like older records, almost all of them end with peace.
Damn. And at the same time, it's showing you that where hip hop was, because double entendre. Yes, peace. But peace is like, yo, peace. Like, we need peace in the streets.
Yep,
man.
peace.
Like,
peace, one love.
Yeah. Well, each one teach one, man. Like,
yeah, dog.
And it's crazy, man. How like we grew up with some of the best fucking music in the fucking world, man. And,
straight up.
That's why we do what we do, man, because we gotta remember the fucking record.
Remember the record.
Do this for you guys, do this for us, and do this for everything. I can't do this for B-Real, do this for Cypher Rock, do this for Wu-Tang, do this for Ice Cube, do this for all the heads we've been covering, man. And we still got so many more. You know we got more, man.
This is honestly a concept that we could do for the rest of our lives. There's just so much music. So much music. We could do this every week and there would still be stuff from 80s, 90s, early 2000s, 70s. Like
we might just die.
We die before we'll stop doing this before we cover all the records. Yeah, hopefully we'll cover your favorite record. Leave it in the comment section. What do you want to hear? We'll talk about it as long as we remember the record. Come on now. Yeah, that's the whole point of it. If I don't remember the record, you probably don't want to hear me talk about it. And if it's not a record that we remember from back in the day, then it doesn't follow the format. So you don't need to let me do the newest whatever. I mean, but we'll remember the record. We'll talk about the old school. Anything from the 70s to I would stop at 2001.
You would stop.
I'm saying for remember the record. I'm saying for this show.
I'm saying you would stop. I'd stop.
You said until 96. You done.
I'm done.
We already covered something that came out after that, didn't we?
I'm saying because the artist was from 96 and prior.
Because he was an 80s guy. Okay. All right, let's get into the games, y'all, man. We are down to the wire on this one tonight. So listen, we're going to start off with singles only. So besides the chart-garnered singles, the hit single Paid in Full, what's the other chart-topping single that's your favorite by Eric B. and Rakim and why? And it's a small list. It's a tasty list. It's all hits. Eric B. and Rakim singers. You want to read those
man,
off?
I'll read them off. So we got Eric B for president. Ain't no joke. I know you got soul, make you proud, paid it for as the rhyme goes on. Follow the leader, microphone theme, the R in the ghetto. Let the rhythm hit the mahogany. What's on your mind, Juice? You got the juice. Don't sweat the technique. Has these war. I know you got so many too. This, my friend, is one of the
harder ones
because
you gotta pick one of these, and every single one of them are so iconic.
All right, let's take
particularly these back ones.
Let's take Paid in Full out of here since we're already covered.
Well, yeah, no, we're not doing Paid in Full. We're talking about Paid in Full.
Then,
besides Paid in Full, I just copied and pasted it. I think I already got the answer myself. It is tough though.
See, for me, it's gonna be between Microphone and no joke.
Dude, I love it.
But I mean, there's so many. Follow the leader's good.
Follow the leader's good.
Those sort of techniques with Juice is good.
Yeah, Know the Ledge.
Man, all these are good, but Follow the Leader and Ain't No Joke just because I hear them the most. As equal to the Paid in Full. Those three are like my top.
See, I gotta throw Microphone Fiend in that too.
Microphone Fiend is such a great
but
one.
Like, for me, I mean, just that beat. Just in how he's spitting and what he's rapping about.
What was the
Follow the Leader?
Yeah, Follow the Leader was great, but I was like kicking the speaker midnight jet.
Yeah, that's
I know, man. God, this guy, that's so many.
It's funny because it's sort of parallel to I Ain't No Joke because he's like, I used to let the mic smoke, but now I throw it down on the ground and make sure it's broke. And Microphone Fiend, he's kicking his foot through the speaker, and then he jets. He's out of there.
But there is
and nobody going on after him.
There is a Follow the Leader. There's a remix to it where it's Jason Nevins. And Jason Nevins has done a couple of hip hop remixes, including Insane in the Membrane.
Oh, word, okay.
And it's more on a techno.
Yeah, I've heard it.
And they even did Run DMC. It's like that, and that's the way it is.
Done as like a club joint.
Yeah, and that shit, like I gotta get Microphone.
Follow the Leader
on that version better than
the original. No way.
Follow the Leader.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, I do like Jason Nevins.
I love Jason Nevins, man. I think what he does is dope, man. But there's something about it, just the.
No, I mean, see, I can't.
Almost got that like.
I can't even go against you, man.
It almost has that James Bond.
Yeah, I can't even negate you on that, man. Like you got a point.
And you get to hear the whole verse straight through without any bullshit. Like I mean, listen, like he goes through like. Oh man, I can't even. I had the bar in my head and now I've lost it. It's like I want to be the sole controller of the universe. Oh my god!
With that tempo and speed,
and he's just going. Bump, with the horns and shit.
That's why it sounds good with that techno because the techno's got
it's already got that tempo.
Yeah,
and it is dope. But but this you follow the leader, dog.
Follow the leader.
I love it. So you're saying
for me,
I Ain't No Joke.
I Ain't No Joke and.
And you're sticking with Follow the Leader as your other one, but I'm saying Follow the Leader, Microphone Fiend.
Yeah,
I love I Ain't No Joke.
Microphone Fiend's also good too, but
those are like the top three for
me. I love that.
Yeah.
I Ain't No Joke.
And then also like his latter stuff with Eric B, like the Juice Know the Ledge, Don't Sweat the Technique.
Man.
Both of those are great.
Yeah. And actually, the I Ain't No Joke. I like sample that I Ain't No Joke on the old jazz. That the horns on that. I like. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, Rakim and.
You're the God.
And the beautiful thing is we got to see it live.
I know, we're gonna talk about that in a moment for sure. Because like that was such a memorable show. It was really, really dope. Let's do a then versus now real quick. Wait. Let's do the albums real quick. Paid in Full, Follow the Leader. Hold on, man. We haven't done the deep cuts yet.
Damn, man.
Man, I'm like ready to go. I can't wait to talk about this other shit. In the deep cuts, aside from the songs that garnered chart positions and/or music videos, what is your favorite record off of the Paid in Full album, which includes the Eric B is on the cut instrumental, My Melody remix, As the Rhyme Goes On, Chinese Arithmetic instrumental, and the extended beat instrumental mix of Move the Crowd?
As the Rhyme Goes On, man.
I do like as the rhyme goes on though. Like it's a different flow pattern. It's also like you want to talk about a deep cut? It is a deep cut. My Melody remix, I feel like is a single.
It's a good one too, man.
Check out My Melody.
Yeah.
And for me, like I think My Melody remix is the answer to that.
Okay, I give you that. Both of those.
But yeah, beat goes on, the rhyme goes on. I mean, it's funny because really those are our two choices if we're talking about stuff where Rakim's involved. Because it's otherwise, it's Eric B's on the cut, the Chinese arithmetic, or the extended move the crowd instrumental. And if I'm talking about those Eric B sessions, if I'm giving my shout out to Eric B, it's hands down Chinese arithmetic.
Yeah, of course.
Like I don't even think there's a question.
No.
I love Eric B's on the cut. And of course, like move the crowd, it's dope.
Yeah, but Chinese arithmetic, I like the fights, man.
Dude, I mean the samples in that are so dope. And just the vibe of it.
I dig it.
Yo, so I want to get into the verses. Besides like pitting the songs against each other and some other things, declaring which one's better over the other, I want to start off with the albums. We got Paid in Full, Follow the Leader, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, Don't Sweat the Technique. The albums.
I gotta say Paid in Full is my favorite.
So Paid in Full is your favorite, the first one they did. I think Follow the Leader is my favorite. Though I'm not gonna go, and honestly, I think the weakest one is Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. It's tough, man. But like you get, what do you got? You got Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. You get Mahogany. Those are dope, and there's a couple other tracks on there for sure. I mean, there's a lot of tracks on there. But then Don't Sweat the Technique, even though it's like the latter stuff, which makes it difficult to compare against stuff like Paid in Full, Follow the Leader. That's I think where he was lyrically just like murdering shit.
Well, each one has their own thing to it. You know what I mean? Like I like the first one, Paid in Full, just because it's got like, I think that's the one that I heard the most of as a kid.
You also have your record, I Ain't No Joke, Paid in Full.
Yeah, like those, because I remember back in the day.
I get Follow the Leader and Microphone Fiend.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, back in the day, like, man, I remember having my tape player, my Walkman, and it was Rakim, Heavy D.
Shit.
It was Black Sheep, it was DOS Effects, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One. So, man, this is going back to, I was like 7. So, man, like, yeah, Rakim's always been my top guy. Man.
So I was gonna ask as another challenge, and it might answer the question right there, but like I want to do a then versus now. So like back then in their prime, like the era that we're talking about here. Rakim versus Big Daddy Kane versus Cool G Rap.
That was the thing, though. That was the thing.
This is the argument.
Yeah, it was always Big Daddy
At one
Kane.
point, it was Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac. But like back then, it was Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Master Ace.
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, obviously Rakim for me.
You think Rakim back in the day?
Yeah. I mean, Big Daddy Kane's right after.
I know. I gotta see. I could flip my coin on that.
Yeah, I mean, look. I think it depends on what you're asking. Like, if you're asking who's got the better flow, or you're asking.
Oh, Big Daddy Kane.
Right, but then you're asking who's got the most intricate flow.
That's definitely Rakim.
Right. So, and
who's got the harder shit?
Kane.
Cool G Rap.
Okay, well, out of those two, but
Master Ace.
But who's got the most better music?
That's what I'm saying.
So
it's really, really tough because I love all the Rakim records, but I think I prefer the Big Daddy Kane records. That's really hard because both of them are. And look, Cool G had the shit, but he had like a much smaller.
I think Cool G and
Master Ace had a way smaller.
Yeah, I think Cool G and Master, like they're good in their own sense, but like I think it's Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, and see I'll put it like this. I think this is how I define my choice, right?
Okay.
So, Big Daddy Kane is lyrical genius. Like that's
that he took the Rakim multisyllabic thing and like
that's a great. Now,
but Rakim's way more technical.
Do I hear? Okay, I'm basing this on time. So if you give me Rakim from '80s, I'll listen to Rakim from '80s. If you give me Rakim from '90s, I'll listen to Rakim from '90s. Give me Rakim from even the last album you just put out, I'll listen to that, and I'll be like, okay, to me that's a longevity, consistency. But if you're asking me, like with Big Daddy Kane, the most that I would follow or listen to him is mostly his earlier stuff, like his first albums. Like I haven't really heard unless
A modern Kane?
been featured on stuff with modern people. But like as a modern artist putting out a Kane album, I haven't heard that. So for me, because of that fact, I can go from the 80s all the way to 2025 and listen to Rakim. I'm gonna give it to Rakim.
I think on the back then, it's got to be Kane for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the now, I think Cool G Rap takes that.
Well, see now, if you're asking me about
like the modern,
yeah,
like the current.
Now, out of all four, like the most current,
Master Ace, really like.
But he just came out with that new album too.
And he was nasty with it.
And he was mad nasty with that.
And his solo albums after the whole Slaughterhouse Inc. thing, like his stuff.
Yeah.
Is fantastic.
Yeah, so
concept album.
So
Disposable Hearts.
So that's what I'm saying. Good. Like. It's hard, man, because like as like a right, as a writer and as a hard rapper, I'm always gonna go for Cool G Rap over Master Ace.
Cool G Rap had that street, but he's insane with the bars.
But Master Ace, if I'm not gonna be hard and I'm not gonna be, then I'm gonna give it to Master Ace.
I would say that Master Ace is like one of the precursors to what becomes like an Eminem or a Big Pun, even even Big Daddy Kane even further back, but just the rhyme patterns and like the more playful style, the quirky and the storytelling. I think Master Ace really found its pocket with that.
Master Ace, it's also another guy that I can listen to longevity wise, from the Symphony to all the way to Master Ace Inc. to what his last album was now. I mean, I know he's had a lot of in between stuff. But I'm just saying,
so nice with it.
I can still Cool G Rap. He just came out. But Big Daddy Kane's the only one who's like.
It's funny because now that you say it like that, it's funny to me that my then, it's like no question Big Daddy Kane. And my now, I would have to put him at the bottom.
And I think it's because he just hasn't come out with anything.
He doesn't really have the material the way these other cats.
Now, if he came out with something,
Cool G Rap,
if he came out with something new right now, and you had this question,
it would be tough. Because then I'd be able to sit down and really study.
I couldn't even answer that. Because Big Daddy Kane, just with his the most recent stuff that he had, which is like 90, late 90s, you could see the evolution. You're like, all right, I know where he's going. And then I was like, oh.
He was. I think his older stuff, as in newer stuff, Big Daddy Kane, was dope, but it just doesn't have the same panache.
Let's see now, man, it would have been awesome if Rakim's album was.
I really wish he was on that album.
That would have been amazing.
I would have loved to hear it. Like, if Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap and Rakim did a record together with Master Ace. I think if all of them did a little baby symphony, 2024 symphony, I would have been all about that, man. Okay, so now, since it is such a big, show about the rapper and the DJ, I want to do the exact same thing about the DJ. So we got Eric B versus DJ Jazzy Jeff versus Grandmaster Flash versus Africa Bambaataa.
Okay, so DJ wise, we're talking about cuts and scratches. I give it to DJ Jazzy Jeff
without even arguing.
Yeah. Now,
he's probably the best I've ever done.
Now, if you're talking about beats wise and stuff like that, what's the list again?
Eric B, Jazzy Jeff, Flash, Africa Bambaataa.
Well, Flash and Bambaataa, man, Bambaataa, he has a couple songs, but the one song,
I know,
is the most iconic song in hip hop. The Kraftwerk sample,
iconic. No Kraftwerk, I don't think we'd have this industry.
But honestly, I think you gotta take Africa out of it just because of that song being such an important song in hip hop canon of songs. That
so we leave it down to Flash, Jeff, and B.
Okay, so now Flash not only this is the thing, it's
Ranchers, the Masses,
but even the White Lines and but
the better songs are coming out of Eric B's.
Yeah. And that's not negating Flash because
it's not negating Jeff.
No, but
a lot of his shit's more playful.
But the message, I mean, that's
fucking message.
That's one of those songs like Africa Bambaataa where it's like.
I mean, all of these cats are pretty much like that. Though.
Yeah, but
I guess you're right. Eric B has the bigger catalog to offer us.
Yeah, but no, I still think Bambaata's on his own.
Yeah.
That's just too much.
Flash is on his own. It's like, I mean, if I added Cool Herc to this, like.
Yeah, but like, let me ask you this though: how many people have sampled Bambaataa, and how many people have sampled Flash? Like, a lot of people sample Flash. A lot of people haven't sampled Bambaataa. And
that whole electro thing is its own entity.
Yeah, but disclaimer, this is a show about music.
We're talking about music.
You guys can read up the story on your own, but
Blase Blah, man.
This is about music. And Blase Blah is another great rapper.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Blase Blah.
But yeah, no. Eric B is the one that I can be like, okay, like I can listen to all of them, but Eric B's the one I listen to the most.
Okay.
Grandmaster Flash.
DJ Def is the pinnacle of the skill.
The cuts. And Grandmaster Flash, honestly, I listened to 3 of his songs.
Flash and Bambaataa for the legacy.
Yeah.
But it's B. Eric B.
Yeah, who's like, I listen to more of his songs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in the same boat with
Soul Sonic Force is just too heavy of a song. You know, dun, dun, dun. Man.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna give it up with one more game. We are way past our prime here, man. But it's the one. I mean, we are lucky. We are blessed because as it says on my chest, you're talking about hip hop all stars, and we had a chance to see all these heads. Man.
Yeah, we did.
And so I want to talk about the verses, not from the song sets. I want to talk about the live performance. And we got Rakim versus Big Daddy Kane versus Slick Rick versus KRS-One versus Queen Latifah versus LL Cool J. Who puts on the better show?
Oh man, it's so hard.
That is not fair because I mean each experience is so memorable.
Well, see, LL Cool J came with
the package. I mean, so did the Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and KRS-One.
All of that. Even Chubb Rock.
Chubb Rock
was not on this, but Chubb Rock came with that energy.
I kept. It was dope.
But see, that's what I'm saying. LL, Chubb Rock.
Morning Love.
They're all. Okay, the one I was most happiest to see was Rakim. That's the best I can say. Because out of all of them, the live shows, like, they were just all so great for their own things, and I was like happy to see all of them, but I was amazed to finally see Rakim. Rakim to me, seeing him, that was like.
I think he was the one I was the most excited to see, but I think when I go home, I was the most impressed with, as far as like stage performance. I thought Big Daddy Kane still.
Oh yeah, no.
The fact that he's like still doing like dance routines and stuff. Yeah. He's like people say I'm too old for this. I still don't got it or whatever. And he comes out and he does all this stuff. And the flows that he has to spit while he's running around doing all that shit. The fact that we saw him get into a fight with an interpreter.
Yeah, no, you're right. I give it to Big Daddy Kane as a showmanship. But they all came with their own thing, man.
I think. No, I know there isn't one bad one. I mean, like Slick Rick was probably the weakest link, only because my man's like got.
I think the audio. And I think the audio was kind of rough on him too. The audio quality.
Audio wasn't great, and he's stuck on the chair, man.
Yeah. Like he wasn't moving around.
He doesn't really get down like that because he's old. He's
like
health wise, he's not really the same.
Like the audio was bad because like I was so happy he did
Hey Young World, but it was like hard as hell.
Everything was hard, but no, Hey Young World's great, but like the famous one,
the Mona Lisa.
No, the famous one.
The story, the bedtime story. When he did that, I was like, no.
But see, I didn't even know he was doing it because it was like the bad quality.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
But like, I don't know, Queen Latifah was dope. I thought KRS-One's show was super memorable.
See, I think KRS-One's show was more of like.
By the time we were done with that, we were just like, and he was doing songs I didn't think he was ever gonna do.
I think KRS-One was more out of all of them was like the most like, okay, I'm gonna go watch like a show of KRS-One. Like everybody else who had like great performances, but like when KRS, I think the lights went off. And like he sat down and did that God song, and like, it was like, yo,
he did some new shit for us.
Yeah, it was like, this is a show. This is like, this could be the show by itself.
He was like taking off layers. Like every song was a different version of KRS.
And I think it was because the other ones didn't have as much time as KRS, if I remember correctly.
Big Daddy Kane had a little bit less. Rakim had the same amount of time.
Yeah, Rakim
LL Cool J had the same amount of time. He had more time.
Yeah, LL Cool J had the most.
Out of everybody that we saw, LL Cool J had the most.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun watching.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's the first time I've seen a lot of them. LL Cool J being one of them, Rakim being another one. I've seen other ones before that, I remember correctly, but Queen Latifah was another one that was for me an amazing thing. You know, after that show,
Bust Out Money Love, dude.
Yeah, after that show, I was like, listen, the only head I really gotta see now is left is Ice Cube. Like Ice Cube and Ice T are the last two heads that I can like. I've seen Nas, I've seen Wu-Tang, I've seen Psycho Realm, I've seen like
I haven't seen Cypress.
I've seen Cypress. I've seen all the old school heads like from the.
I saw Snoop live, dude. That shit was so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Snoop.
That was a great show.
I mean,
that was one of the most fun shows I've ever been to.
I could go without watching Snoop. You know what I mean?
Oh, he went hard to paint.
No. I love Snoop. And honestly, like, I think he's one of the most versatile artists in the rap game. I mean, he is country, soul, gospel,
rock, techno, dance, pop, underground,
Willie Nelson, like
gangster,
like even with the Spanish people, like
funk,
like all that Snoop encompasses. So again, going back to the Cube thing, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, like these heads like that came out of what could have been the end, you know, and made themselves stars, man. I gotta give them props.
Yeah. No, 100%. They did their thing. And so did Eric B. Rakim. We're going to go ahead and say that this is a wrap up here. I'm going to go ahead and say, please, once again, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And if you continue to enjoy the content, we ask that you like, you comment, you follow, and you share. Remember the record with other hip-hop heads in your life. And definitely come and join us on Instagram and interact with us there. We like to take some of your comments and give you shout-outs on the show. We want to hear your feedback as to specific songs you want to hear on the show. Obviously, on our streaming sites, we need more support there. We'd love to have you guys continue to spread the gospel of Remember the Record on those platforms. Johnny Warbucks. You know,
we do this, man. We do this for the whole thing, man. So just if you want to take part in helping the culture out, subscribe and share.
Spread the love, man. We love talking about these records that we love, that we grew up with in the door. We have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, man. And it's gonna be for a minute. So
we still got quite a ways. Next week we're gonna be doing Big Daddy Kane. And we're gonna have 7, and we want to get your feedback after that. Let us know. Do you guys want to hear us do an episode about Marley Marl and the Juice Crew, the Symphony? Do you want to hear the Symphony? Or do you want to do Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, the Message? I did a little. That's a hard one to do.
That is a hard one.
Yo, don't push me.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of
mankind. Yo, that record, man. True to this day, man.
Yeah. People pissing on the corner, you just don't care.
All right, guys. That's it, man. We out of here. Man. Peace, one love. We'll see you in the next one, all right? Yeah. Thinking of a master plan. With the record. Thinking of a master plan. With the record. Thinking of a master plan. With the record.